So, as Paul mentioned, his first claim was that there's no significant change in Cuban government's behavior and conduction, even though there's been 50 years of the embargo. However, yes, there is no significant change, but that just means that it could be more harmful to remove this, the embargo. According to the pro-con headlines, Cuba has not demonstrated a willingness to negotiate in good faith with the U.S. President Barack Obama stated in September 28, 2011, that the Open for Questions Roundtable, now what we've tried to do is to send a signal that we are open to a new relationship with Cuba. We have yet to see a signal. We have to see a signal back from the Cuban government in order for us to be fully engaged with them. And so far, at least, what we haven't seen is the kind of genuine spirit of transformation inside of Cuba that would justify us in eliminating the embargo. Fidel Castro responded the following day by calling Obama stupid and saying many things will change in Cuba, but they will change through our efforts and in spite of the U.S. Perhaps that empire will fall first. Paul's second claim was that Cuban government is actually willing to reform the economy. They've loosened human rights and made traveling abroad easier. But actually, Cuban government has not been willing to reform. Just as I said earlier, that Fidel Castro says that things will change in spite of the U.S., not with help from them. So he's saying that he doesn't want help from the U.S. Paul's third point is that it costs a lot to maintain the embargo. And the U.S. actually helps Cuba regardless of the embargo. According to Joy Gordon, in the U.S. embargo against Cuba and the diplomatic challenges to extraterritoriality, in 2000, Congress passed the Trade Sanctions Reform and Export Enhancement Act, providing limited exceptions to the embargo, primarily by allowing U.S. companies to sell agricultural and medical products to Cuba, subject to a number of limitations. So lifting the embargo would not be practical because Cuba has yet to meet the demands of that the U.S. put in place in order to lift it. For example, according to Jim Myers from Newsmax, Cuba has not released all the political prisoners Obama said the regime has promised to free during the recent Cuban-American discussions. Estimates are that there are more than 6,000 political detainees in Cuba, among the world's highest per capita, and some 65,000 prison inmates altogether. Okay, lifting the Cuban embargo would be harmful to the U.S. and would not help Cuban economy. By lifting the embargo before the demands have been met, the U.S. would be seen as weak and easily dissuaded. U.S. and Cuba would not be able to trade with such ease as everyone imagines, since Cuban government has been aggressive in the past when the U.S. tried to put leniency to the embargo.
Antoine, you are the next speaker, and you guys only have 30 seconds of prep time left, so I'm just letting you know.